International political players are now pushing for General Kaguta Museveni to be sanctioned not only in Africa but across the world. This comes after Martha KARUA read out a press statement condemning General Museveni's brutality and calling him out for having a violent election. In fact, Martha KARUA said this statement.
This is an open letter to President Yoweri Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, and General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, President Museveni's son, and the Chief of Defense Forces in Uganda. This is an African and global cry against the systematic, targeted sexual violence and assault to women's dignity in Uganda. We, the women of the Jumuiya and the African region, as advocates of justice globally, we write this letter in a state of profound shock and shared grief. The atrocities currently being visited upon the women of Uganda are not merely a Ugandan crisis, they are a stain on the conscience of the African continent and a direct assault on the universal principles of human dignity that binds all decent human beings across the globe.
That is Martha KARUA. The moment you see when the international community is zeroing in on a leader, it means something. And this comes at a backdrop when General Museveni has led the country for now 40 years. He was just declared for another term, which is, if he stays in power, he'll be making 45 years. I want to take you back when leaders have led their country for this long, when the democratic space has shrunk, when human rights abuses are going on, they are normally sanctioned. Take a look, for example, the Sudan. Omar al-Bashir was sanctioned when he was still president. In fact, the International Crimes Court gave out a warrant of arrest to him. Very many African countries ditched him, including General Kaguta Museveni here. He has ever come out to say that when Omar al-Bashir comes in the country, he may be sanctioned. Remember, Uganda and Sudan had always had differences. When Uganda is accusing Sudan of supporting the LI rebel, and also Sudan accusing Uganda of supporting the SPLM then, before the Sudan split. So, for the purpose of this video, I've come to talk about Martha KARUA's statement, what it means for our politics, and most importantly, the study materials you can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawagari. There's a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. First of all, I keep on telling people that fighting for freedom and human rights is not something that can be fought alone, because human rights are universal. There are rights which were given by God, but there are also rights that were given by the Constitution. Okay? There are two different rights. My right to live, my right to eat was given by God. Then there are also human rights that were sanctioned by the UN. Some of those rights have been violated by this regime. For example, there are forceful disappearances, there are abductions, there are torture. There are very many people who have come out to say that they have been tortured. As we speak right now, the two deputy presidents of NUP, we are first abducted for more than 2 weeks without no one knowing where they are until they were produced in court. Tell me what that is if it's not about forceful disappearances. So when you see global players zeroing in on a leader, it's going to have a ripple effect. Many of the times it even have an effect on the entire country. Take, for example, there's a time reached when Zimbabwe was not only sanctioned for its leader, but it was sanctioned in its totality. It came a lot of inflation and etc. So when Martha KARUA speaks, remember Martha KARUA is also a lead lawyer of Dr. Kizza Besigye. The day Dr. Kizza Besigye was abducted in Kenya, we had gone to attend the conference which was organized by KARUA. Even him coming out here as a lawyer, it took a time to get a license to go in Ugandan courts. For if he comes out to address these issues, they can look as a joke to you, but they have a ripple effect on the way how politics is played in the country. In fact, let me also add another tape of KARUA. That is
a dark chapter for humanity. The horrors unfolding in the wake of the January 2026 elections represent a catastrophic regression in human rights. We have watched in dismay as security forces under the command of the state in Uganda have weaponized and sexualized violence, humiliation, and terror, more particularly to the women of Uganda, to settle political scores. When the privacy of a woman's bedroom is violated and her body treated as a battlefield, the soul of a nation, and by extension of our region, is in mortal peril.
Is Martha Wangari KARUA from Kenya. So such statements must cause an alarm in our country. No sane person can come out and support the continuity of General Kaguta Museveni. No development, no change. Crusaders should know that General Museveni, what General Museveni failed to do in the last 40 years cannot do in the remaining years as president. And the regime is trying to engineer succession instead of a transition, because for me, I believe after General Museveni, we must press a reset button, get a new constitution, get safetyness within the constitution, build a country again, because it's veered off the rail. It's time to first talk about the nation before anything else. So when such statements are made, they are known some a joke to you. Of course, it's my opinion, yours truly, Mr. Makindi. Kabi Sulaiman Magal. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.